Hi everyone! Today I'd like to present our new ProCORE 18V series. I know tradespeople like yourselves usually prefer working with battery-powered tools, but sometimes cordless tools simply aren't powerful enough, or they keep shutting down due to overheating. To avoid both these problems, we've developed the new ProCORE 18V series, which is available in 3 power classes. So you'll always have the right battery for whatever job you want to do. In this video, I'll explain the biggest advantage of our ProCORE 18V batteries. The optimized temperature management system not only makes the tool exceptionally powerful, but it greatly extends the service life of the battery as well. Furthermore, our ProCORE 18V batteries are compatible with products in our Blue 18V system, meaning they can be used with any 18V tool or 18V charger. To make sure you'll always have the right battery at the ready for the job at hand, we offer the ProCORE 18V in 3 different power classes. You can now watch the video in its entirety or skip to the section that interests you most. The biggest advantage of the ProCORE 18V battery is how powerful it is. This enables you to complete even the toughest of jobs with a cordless tool. The ProCORE 18V battery now uses 21-700 cells. All the lithium-ion batteries we've made since 2003 have used 18-650 cells. If we compare the two, you'll see that the 21-700 is only slightly taller and slightly wider than the 18-650. But its power density is considerably higher than that of all our previous batteries to date. The internal resistance of the 21-700 cell is significantly lower. This means that less heat is generated and higher currents can be drawn from the cell, which gives us more power when working with the tool. These cells are literally full of energy. They have a capacity of 4 ampere hours. Our previous cells, by contrast, had a capacity of 3 ampere hours. Here you can see another component that has a big impact on how powerful the battery is. Whereas old batteries have nickel-plated steel connectors, the cells in the ProCORE 18V are connected using relatively strong copper components. Copper has excellent thermal and electrical properties that help to reduce power loss. It's a case of the thicker, the better. The low specific resistance of copper means that less heat is generated. This allows us to draw higher currents from the battery than before over a longer period of time, which in turn increases the power too. To enable us to use thick copper plates to connect the cells in the first place, we have to employ a new welding process. Standard contact welding doesn't work with thick copper, so we're gradually integrating laser welding into our production process. This process has been patented exclusively by Bosch. It's the only process that makes it possible to use thick copper to connect the cells. It helps us keep heat buildup relatively low, and like the other 2 measures I've mentioned, enables us to draw higher currents from the battery over a longer period of time. This is a real plus for you as far as power is concerned. What's more, laser welding is a fully automated process. The rate of error is extremely low compared with manual welding, which means that process reliability and therefore quality are significantly higher. As you can see, in terms of power, a lot goes into keeping the battery's internal resistance as low as possible, both with the cells themselves and with the cell connectors. The lower the internal resistance, the less power is lost in the form of heat, which means you get more power from your battery when working. And as you now know, having lower temperatures inside the battery enables higher currents to be drawn from the battery over a considerably longer period of time, without the battery overheating, and without the power having to be reduced, or the power tool switching off to protect the battery. This, in turn, increases the power enormously. Without overheating, you can keep working with your battery for longer. How powerful a tool is also depends heavily on temperature management, which is something I'll explain in more detail in the next section of this video. The temperature is important because it affects both the power and the service life of the battery. In demanding applications, you can drill up to 150% more holes using the ProCORE 18V 8Ah model than with the GBA 18V 6Ah battery, with which the tool would switch itself off to prevent overheating. How long a battery lasts ultimately depends on the efficiency of heat dissipation, because overheating spells death for any battery. This means we need to do everything we can to dissipate heat to the outside. So to keep the battery cooler on the inside, it needs to be warm on the outside, and that's a good thing. To enable heat to be dissipated to the outside, we embed the battery cells fully, in other words, without gaps, into the cool pack casing made of high-density polyethylene plastic. This material dissipates heat very effectively. Thanks to the large surface area of the cool pack housing, heat is dissipated to the surroundings quickly too. In short, this results in efficient heat dissipation, away from the cells on the inside and towards the outsides of the battery. The cells are connected using copper. As I explained in the power section, copper has excellent thermal properties, which means that less heat is generated to begin with thanks to very low specific resistance. And the lower the heat inside the battery, the longer its service life. To make sure there are no gaps between the cells and the housing around the sides of the battery, which would allow the air to heat up and cause damage to the cells, a layer of thermoplastic elastomer has been applied to close all the possible gaps and dissipate the heat to the outside. This thermal imaging camera shows you the difference between two batteries. One is a ProCORE 18V and the other is made by a competitor. The surface of the ProCORE 18V becomes considerably warmer, which is a good thing, because it's the only way that the heat can be dissipated to the outside. The surface of the other battery remains relatively cool, meaning that the heat builds up inside the battery, where it damages the cells. As you've come to expect, all Bosch professional batteries are compatible with all power tools and chargers in the same voltage class. Never fear, your battery will always work, meaning you can use the latest lithium-ion battery even in somewhat older lithium-ion power tools. And you don't have to worry about charges either. You can charge any battery with any charger, provided they're in the same voltage class. To make sure you'll always have the right battery for the job you need to do, we offer the ProCORE 18V in 3 power classes: 4 Ah, 8 Ah, and 12 Ah. The ProCORE 18V 4 Ah delivers the same power as a conventional 4 Ah 18V battery, but it's substantially smaller and lighter. This makes it the perfect battery for all screw driving applications. Even difficult jobs, like drilling with a flat drill bit, are now possible thanks to the compact, lightweight, single-piece ProCORE 18V 4 Ah battery, which has all the power but weighs far less. The new ProCORE 18V 8 Ah model is ideal for challenging applications where you want to use a cordless tool. And if things get really tough, you have yet another tool in your arsenal, the 12 Ah ProCORE 18V battery, which is ready for anything. With just one charge, you can remove 65% more material with the ProCORE 18V 12 Ah battery than you can with a standard 18V 6 Ah model. This gives you all the advantages of a cordless tool with a level of power that's comparable to that of corded tools. If you've enjoyed this video, please give it a like. All product information is available on our website. You can find out more about Bosch Professional and see the latest press releases on Facebook. You can also watch lots more videos on our YouTube channel. If you'd like to keep up to date with all the latest developments, make sure you sign up for our newsletter. See you soon.